these are 3.75 inch prototype figures. You may or may not know that there were 6 figures in this line. I managed to get 4 off of eBay. Now before anybody asks, please do not, I guarantee somebody will ask, you will not be able to get these figures unless you are extremely, extremely lucky. Whether you can get them second hand or whether you can get them from the supplier that I got them from. It's very doubtful that you'll be able to get one because they were never mass produced. There were only a few copies made for promotional reasons to show at toy fairs and things like that. We never saw them at the toy fair, but I think they were made for the toy fair, but they just didn't make it, unfortunately. I say unfortunately when I don't like the 3.75 inch line, but these are actually pretty neat, they're pretty cool. So yeah, I got them for I think about £25 each, something like that. Not cheap, but at the same time not expensive either, considering the prototypes and you can't get them anymore, so not too bad of a price. Yeah, I was at college just on a break from my work. I mean, I should have been doing work, but at the same time it was worth it in the end because I got hold of these prototypes. I was just on eBay, happened to be at the right place at the right time. Literally, if I was an hour late, or God, even like half an hour late, I would not have got these because they sold out instantly because they were listed at the time of me looking up the figures, and then as soon as I bought them, the other ones that were in stock sold out immediately, so I was extremely, extremely lucky. I know who has the other ones. I can't actually remember the channel name, unfortunately, but I've seen the video, and a friend of mine, Reese, has the other 2 Daleks, which is an absolute pain in the ass because I really wanted those so much. But at the same time, I'm still very happy with the ones I've got. Before anyone asks, are these for sale? If you can hit me up with a price which I'd be tempted by, then maybe. But for now, they do stand very proud in my collection. I don't want some 10-year-old kid saying I'll give you a low baller for it. I'm looking for reasonably high offers if I do ever decide to sell it at one day, considering you're not going to be able to get these pretty much ever again. But yeah, enough waffle, let's have a look at the figures. So we'll look at the packaging first. I'll just get the 12th Doctor. Doctor Who logo at the top. Figure displayed quite nicely, as opposed to the original 3.75 inch packaging, which was god awful. I'll compare it in a minute. You just got the title there, what you got, 5+, character options logo. On the bottom, to prove that it's a prototype, you have for promotion only or something like that. Look it up. Item number, it doesn't have an item number because it's a prototype. Scan me, I'm assuming that's just for like the Dalek patrol ship or something crappy like that. You got the Series 8 logo. You have silhouetted versions of the other figures in the line. This also proves that it's a prototype as well because, well, why would you have any doubts that it's a prototype? I mean, just look at it. But yeah, they got Dalek from the Chase and Invasion of Earth the wrong way around. You wouldn't get that cock up on a final product. Well, you shouldn't anyway. Also available, 12th Doctor Sonic Screwdriver, legal information, and that's about it for the packaging. It's in similar vein to the Rose figure, or the US releases that were released a couple of years back. Just put a picture up for you now. Very similar. And in contrast to the 3.75 inch packaging, which was released before, you can see this is miles better. It's so much more neat and tidy. It looks like something you want to put on display, whereas these just look like complete garbage and absolutely disgusting. Why do I own one of these? Well, it was $2.99 in Quality Save, and I thought, well, I've travelled all this way to Morecambe to do some shopping. I might as well pick something up. Taking a look at the figures. This is kind of a brief overview. I do apologise, but at the same time, like I said before, it's incredibly difficult to capture the detail, especially with how they're in box. So as you can see, extremely good likeness with Paul McGann. I mean, it's a 3D scan, we all know that now, that's how they make the figures nowadays, but compared to other 3.75 inch figures, the detail is pretty damn good. It's almost, well, it's pretty much on the same level as the 5-inch version, and I honestly think that the 5-inch version isn't really that good because the paint apps aren't great, whereas the paint apps on this are pretty incredible for a 3.75-inch figure. There's accessories, sonic screwdriver, and the chalice or whatever it is. You got the, I don't know what it's called, the thing that goes around his shoulder there. Well detailed. The waistcoat is very well detailed. Nice wash all across the figure. I do apologise once again, it is very difficult to capture the detail on camera. But yeah, for a 3.75-inch figure, very well detailed. I don't really have any problems with it. So here's a comparison between the 3.75-inch version and the 5-inch version. Bear in mind that the 5-inch version I have didn't come with a strap, and it's a weathered up version which came in 13 Doctors box set, but it's the same sculpt. As you can see, the detail is pretty matched. I mean, there's really not that much in it. The sculpt is exactly the same, it's just obviously from a different mould, considering one's larger and one's smaller. But yeah, every single detail has been carried across pretty perfectly. And this is me praising character options, so that doesn't happen very often. Next up, we'll take a look at the Missy. Pretty much identical to the 5-inch release, because it's obviously from the same 3D scan, but the face detail is pretty damn good. This is extremely difficult, but there you go. Slightly better. Outfit has been recreated very well. Accessory. It is kind of weird how it's exactly the same as a 5-inch figure, just downscaled, which is pretty fascinating how technology's come that far for toy lines. So here's a comparison between the two Missies. Like I said with the previous comparison, an upscale version, there really is no difference at all, really. It's pretty extraordinary, I'm not gonna lie. The Dalek is pretty cool. We did see prototypes, unpainted prototypes of this quite a while back, so we knew they existed, but we never knew that they made it this far into production. Detail is pretty incredible for a 3.75-inch Dalek, much better than the previous classic Dalek releases. The paint apps are a lot tighter, it just looks so much nicer than them. The eye is accurate, and honestly I swear that this eye, the hole where the eye is supposed to be, where it slots in, I could swear this is a new sculpt. It looks a lot wider than previous releases. Gun, sculpted accurately to the 60s Daleks, and the disc on the back is grey. You can see how tight and crisp the paint apps there, it's really quite incredible. Well done, character, for doing some of your best work and not releasing it. Again, like I said with the other two, very similar. I mean, the new Dalek sculpt, it's not the same sculpt like the other two I showed, and there are differences. The neck is all one piece, it's not individual pieces of plastic sort of on top of each other. The body is different, I mean not very much so, but it is different. I think the 3.75-inch version has a more cartoon look to it, it doesn't look as screen accurate. But in terms of paint, they're pretty much identical. The only difference I can see is the grey, where the slat area is darker on the 3.75-inch version, and it's lighter on the 5-inch version. But other than that, they're very similar. And the 12th Doctor, I have shown this off before, is pretty nice. It's used the head from the Time of the Doctor version, the regenerated version. That's the most, I think that's the most used head sculpt for the 3.75-inch 12 Doctors now. I'm pretty damn sure they had the original Time of the Doctor release, then they re-released it, and now they're using it on, they used it on this, whereas the previous version they only used it on the Series 8 versions, the Robot Sherwood and the deep breath one. As you can see, it has a cardigan instead of a waistcoat, which is a little bit unfortunate, but I'm not going to cry over it. Because at the end of the day, this is a prototype and you don't have it, so... Has a sonic screwdriver accessory. God, this is so difficult to capture. It just does not want to focus inside the packaging because of the reflections and things. It's a real shame you don't get to see that incredible detail. In terms of face sculpt, I mean, obviously it's really soft because of how small it is and how the paint's been applied, but I think it's an improvement over the previous 3.75 inch 12th Doctors. That's it for the detail of all the figures. It's been a pretty short video because there's not an awful lot to go into. Like I said, if the right price does come up, I might consider selling them, but for now it does give me joy to know that there's people who want these and I have them, so that's pretty cool. I'm very sadistic like that, but oh well. This proves that Character Options are capable of doing very high quality figures. Say what you want about the 3.75 inch line, but you cannot deny that these in particular are incredibly well detailed. It's a massive step up from the previous ones, but unfortunately they never made it to production, so it's like, well, where do we go from there? Very annoying, but at the same time it's good for me and the other people who own these. The seller was also offering them loose. I think they're about 2 of each loose and 2 of each boxed. I would have liked to have got the loose ones because I wanted to see what the build quality was like, whether they're better than the B&M ones in terms of how the plastic was made. But yeah, everything from the packaging to the detail, they're just very, very nice pieces, and it's such a shame that the 3.75 inch line didn't start out like this, because if it did, then people might have been, would they have been won over? I don't know. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.